Captains, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, USS Endeavor, and we are aboard the AM Sumner, the Tier 8 American tech tree destroyer, considered by many to be the best ship in the line. That's not just my opinion, it's also opinion held by many. And if you'd like to look at the stats, stick around. Otherwise, the gameplay code is at the bottom. You can skip to the gameplay at the time code below. So we're going to look into the build, which is very similar to the Fletcher build, which we are going to go through rather quickly. We have Vincent Mordoff yet again with his Destroyer Main Battery Reload Time base perk, with Sims and Bay as our inspirations, giving us more HP and a little bit better concealment. Observant Rage is going to help with, again, our main battery reload time. And the Mortar skill, which has the slight nerf to detectability, which is why we use Bay, increases our AP and HE shell damage. Perceptive, giving us a bearing locator, reduced damage to our ship. Shattered Arms allows us to have our torpedo tubes and our guns longer, along with Leviathan, which gives us more health. Our module slots we have in the first one being Aiming Systems Mod 1 with Propulsion Mod in the second, giving us a little bit faster acceleration. Concealment Mod in the third, and our last we have decided for the Main Battery Mod 3, which reduces our reload for our main guns. She is fully upgraded. Moving on to the consumables, we have the same smoke generator, we have 2 charges of them, and we have the engine speed boost, which increases our engine max speed by 8%. Our survivability is at 22,140 hit points because we have spec'd a little bit because of Sims and Leviathan, which has increased our health pool quite considerably, giving us more opportunities to take hits and still stay alive. The artillery is also really good, and this is probably the strong suit, and you'll notice this is very similar, if not identical, to the gearing in both reload range, 180-degree turn time, and same with damage in both the AP and HE shell characteristics, with a 5% chance to set fires. This is the bread and butter of this ship, and this is why it's such a dangerous ship. These shells hurt when you get hit by them. The torpedoes are ridiculous. You have 2x5s, which is the same as the Benson and the Fletcher, but if you notice the torpedo range, it's 16.5 kilometers. No, that is not wrong. You were seeing it right. It's 16.5 kilometers with a 66 knot torpedo speed. These torpedoes are very good and sneak up on you when you least expect them. The AA defense, although we don't face a carrier, is above a 50. I think it's slightly worse than the Fletcher, but it's not bad. It's not great. It's just average. The maneuverability, we have a 36.5 knot top speed with this build. The turning circle radius is slightly worse than the Fletcher, and the rudder shift time is also just a 0.1 worse rudder shift, so almost identical to the Fletcher. The concealment is the exact same. 6.1 kilometer detectability by sea, by air 3.2, and detectability while firing in smoke is 2.6. You need to know all these things, but if you notice the Benson and Fletcher videos, they are identical, so nothing really new here. Lastly, this is my individual ship stats. I've only got 10 battles in her, and yes, I did GXP a little bit of it, but it's an amazing ship once you have it fully maxed out. So on to the armor. We have the same armor thickness as the Fletcher, 19 millimeters of armor wrapping around the ship, except for the superstructure, which is more lightly armored. But again, you're squishy, so don't take hits. All right, captains, if you watched my Fletcher video, this is not deja vu. This is the exact same map, the exact same layout, but different spawn, because in the Fletcher video we spawned at C. This time we spawned mid at Bravo, and we are in a virtually all legendary match except for one battleship that is on each side. It's essentially mainly comprised of legendary, and if you notice, the Shim Apocalypse is still upon us. So we have to keep that in mind. The only destroyer that is not a Shimakaze is the Z-46, which does have hydro and can use a smoke hydro combo that would negate us and give him more opportunities to shoot us. So we have 4 destroyers to worry about, and it's just a random roll on whether or not the Z-46 is in Bravo. But I'm going to keep an eye on that bearing locator, and I'm going to get here in the cap and try to spot and cap at the same time, because that's my role. Hunting down these Shimikazes is going to be fun, but at the same time, I got to be careful. So as soon as we get into the cap, it is immediately contested, meaning that the destroyer on that spawned Bravo had the exact same idea. And here I'm just going to wait because I want to see what develops. Our Khabarovsk is over on Charlie, and we also have our other 2 destroyers, which went to Alpha. So I'm just waiting patiently here, and I'm backing up because I'm wondering if the destroyer is going to leak around this corner. The other ship that I need to be cognizant of is the Worcester. And there's the Z-46. He just popped up over at Alpha. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, it's go time. Whatever destroyer this is, it's got to be a Shimikaze, and it's on the other side of this island. He does not have hydro, or not hydro. He doesn't have a bearing locator because I'm not located, which you would see in the upper right-hand corner, kind of mid-map to the right corner. Pretty much where the Bravo contested is, you would pretty much see that if I was located. But I'm not, so I'm pushing around this corner, and I want to surprise this Shimikaze and then just take him out. So here I am spotted, he pops up, and here, I gotta be honest, I don't know if this was me, or if this was the game, or if it was a combination of both, but my aiming here seems to start okay, but it gets kind of erratic. And I don't know if it's because he pops up, and he kind of loses spot, and that shot was weird, it was just way off. I did not aim there, so a little frustrated here. I'm spotted, I have no idea what I'm being spotted by. He's in the smoke, and I know I'm not that close for my smoke fire penalty, so I'm taking a lot of hits here. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary hits, and it's just kind of frustrating. I gotta find this guy. I'm getting whittled down. Half my health is already gone, and I haven't taken him out yet, and so I've got to take the Shimikaze out as soon as I possibly can. Nobody else is helping me take this guy out, and I get to the last salvo, and then the Yamato out of nowhere yanks it. So I don't care, I'm fine. And speaking of the Worcester, who's down to almost no health, takes shots at me, and he's still shooting at me, and the battleship that was with him was shooting at me, and this Kerr first has been taking shots at me, and I feel like I'm back in the Fletcher video. I'm at the beginning of the match. I thought I was going to have an easy time taking out this Shimikaze, and here I am with really low health again. So if you saw the Fletcher video, you know what I'm about to say. This is I had to learn this lesson back then. I'm going to take it seriously now. Don't give up. That's the lesson. When the chips are down, when you take a whacking and you're still alive, even if you're down to a sliver of health, as the Fletcher video showcased, you can still survive and make an impact in the game. So that's what I'm going to do. I have to play a little bit more cautiously now, and I wasn't expecting to trade that much health at the beginning of the game against the Shimikaze, but he was getting a lot more support from his teammates than I was getting with mine. So I don't know if it's they just didn't have shots, but whatever. The Z-46 pops up, and we're shooting at him. You can see just how devastating these guns are. They can really pack a wallop. And the Yamato is up, so we're going to shoot at him. We get a fire on him, which is great. Shot torpedoes out there because, you know, we have long-range 16.5-kilometer shells or torpedoes that can go very long distances. And most people forget about them. And speaking of forgetting about them, that destroyer just paid the price for not realizing that those torpedoes were heading his way. I don't know if his hydro was gone, but we took out the Z-46, which was huge, and we're chiming in with the guns here, and we got to make it into this cap. And here I was going to shoot another salvo, but I was afraid the Yamato was going to spot me. So we're going in there. We have already taken Bravo cap. I'm so tempted to shoot this guy, but again, I have to play cautiously. He's got 2 fires on him. I'm going to let it burn. I'm not going to take any shots at him. I don't want to get spotted. I just need to play conservative here on out, unless I absolutely don't have a choice. And there, our fire takes out the Yamato. So now we're up to 2 kills. Should have been a third because I took like 90-95% of that Shimikaze's health at the beginning. And then the Yamato yanked it. But whatever. He's gone. And so we're in this cap now, and we're helping the other Shimikaze who's in here take it. And as soon as we take it, we got to get out, and we got to keep moving. We're doing okay in ship count, and we're flipping alpha. So I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. But as you know, this is Legends, and we're at Legendary tier. And you would think that that would mean the best, the smartest, the brightest players play at the top, right? Right? Well, I wish that were the case, but you and I both know that is not the case. So here we get to throw our torps out because we actually have range on this Yamato, which is just ridiculous. And or was that a Yamato or was that a Kurfürst? I can't remember. But we launched the torpedoes out at the... yeah, that's Kurfürst. Okay, I'm sorry. I was seeing things. But anyway, the battleship that is way out there, that is sailing and not really contributing to the match, he was in our torp range, so decided to take it. You saw that the Alaska here and Bravo Cap have popped his radar, so I don't have that as a tool in the event that I need it. You can see that my bearing locator puts the closest ship on the other side of these islands, so I am just pinging the map to let my team know. The ship count is now tied, and we are down in score because they had taken Alpha earlier, and they held Charlie. The only cap that we had at the beginning of the match was Bravo. And there we lose our Alaska. So now we really don't have our radar, but we have all 3 destroyers. Myself, which is pretty low health, and 2 Shimikazes. And I'm going to be honest. Well, first of all, these 2 torps hit the GK, which is really impressive. But I've got a Worcester left, which has radar and is extremely dangerous against me, especially at my health. We have a Shimikaze and a Musashi. And so the 2 battleships are a lot less worrisome. The Worcester is my biggest threat because he has the potential to radar me. And the Musashi pops up, and I don't have my torpedoes back yet. So, but there the smoke pops up, which is the Shimikaze. And now the cap is contested because I'm in it along with the Shimikaze. There I get spotted. And here, I'm just waiting on the destroyer to pop up. There he's spotted, and he's relatively low health like I am. So I'm feeling a lot better about this engagement. I'm able to gun him down before he can wipe me out. And boom, there he goes. And look at how quickly that was. That's just how powerful this ship is. It can really pump out the damage. So at this point, I need one of those Shimikazes to make their way into Charlie because I can't get there. But for reasons I can't understand, if you look at the map, one of our Shimikazes is at the very bottom of the map chasing that GK. He's chasing damage. Again, I think it has to do with the missions. Here the radar pops up, and I was terrified. At this point, I'm like, oh boy, I'm done. But oddly enough, no shots come in. There are a couple of secondaries from the Musashi. They're not hitting me. I must be right outside of his range. There I take a nasty whack by something. I'm guessing it was the GK who has had my interest all game. And there are the shells from the Worcester. But right as he's about to engage me, the radar is gone. And now I'm a one-shot kill. There's nothing else I can do. I have no more smoke left, so my utility is gone. I was hoping that those torpedoes that I launched would hit the the Musashi, but they don't. Now I'm trying to just disengage as much as I can, because if I get spotted just once, I'm toast. Plus, I can't even afford to shoot at these ships to reset the cap. They're going to take it. There's nothing I can do. And now it's just two of us versus these three ships. And the battleships I am a lot less worried about, or was until I was one shot. But the Worcester is my biggest threat at this point. So now they have Bravo cap and Charlie cap. They have the cap advantage. It's just so frustrating. I worked so hard to get that cap. And there our Shimakaze finally takes out the battleship that he's been chasing this whole game. There I ping the map to let him know where the remaining ships are, because I don't think he's been paying attention. But I really need him to beeline it to Charlie. And unfortunately, him spending all that time chasing that battleship as opposed to trying to go for the caps that I couldn't reach is going to be to our downfall. There, the Musashi pops up, and I'm just waiting to see where the Worcester is, and they're both right there, and they're still relatively low. That Worcester's been low almost all game, and nobody was able to take him out, which was really frustrating. So here I'm trying to decide. I got my torpedoes back at just the right time, but where do I put them? I put one on the indicator, and I'm going to put one in front in case the Musashi decides to change course, which it looks like he is. So I'm just kind of keeping my distance because I don't want to get spotted by the radar from the Worcester, and I also want to try and make my way into Bravo Cap. And our destroyer is heading towards Charlie, so I'm kind of doing the mental math at this point. If these torpedoes can take out this Musashi in this salvo without me having to shoot at him, and we flip Bravo Cap, then we can potentially win this game, because I think there's enough time left, plus the point swing that would come from killing the Musashi. So here come the torps. They look good. We get 1, 2, 3. Are we going to get the fourth? No, he's down to nothing. Oh, man. So now I have no choice. The Worcester finally makes its way around the corner, and now I have to rely on my DPM. I have to take him out. I have no other choice. I am shooting furiously at him because I want him to die. And are we going to get him? We take him out right there. And now we go quiet because we just want to survive any salvos that are coming in from the Worcester. There comes the first one. I hit the island. I'm hoping I'm not going to get hit by these. I can just survive. Oh, and we don't. If we would have just dodged that last salvo, I think we could have won this. But alas, it wasn't meant to be, and we got 4 kills, meaning if we would have taken out the Shimakaze at the beginning of the match, that would have been our Kraken. But it's a Kraken Junior, and I guess I'll take it. Man, I did everything that I knew to do in that match. I tried to take as many caps as I could. I went for the destroyers as much as I possibly could. The Worcester, which was the biggest threat to me all game, ends up taking me out, and this Shimakaze doesn't have enough time to even try and take out the Worcester. He's on the opposite side of the map, and so we're not going to be able to do it. This is going to be a loss. It's a tough, bitter one, especially with the score that I had. You'll see here in just a second, it would have been a juicy score on the scoreboard. But you know, I can hold my head high. I did a really good job, but it's still going to come up as an L. And we were in an all-legendary match. So that just shows you how powerful this ship is. It can hang with the big boys and dish it out. The Leviathan and Sims perk definitely helped me to stay alive much longer. As you could see, we were down to like 600 or less than that for a long portion of this match. But wasn't meant to be. We end up taking the L. But if you look at the scoreboard, we almost had the top spot even in a loss. You can see that we were ahead of the Worcester in score. So that's going to do it for the Sumner. It's a very powerful and very, very good ship. I hope you enjoyed that video, Captains. I'd appreciate a like, a share, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the ship. Do you have it? Are you looking forward to it? I can tell you right now, it is worth its $25 million in silver to get it, and you won't be disappointed by it. So that's going to do it all for me today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fair winds and fair seas. I'll see you in the next video. This is the USS Endeavor signing off.